Haha, it's a 2 for Tuesday. Hey everybody, what's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Today's going to be a 2 for Tuesday. Yep, 2 videos on one day. Wow. Well, this is kind of something a little bit interesting, at least I think so. Was upstairs going through my, basically like, I don't know what you would call it. It's a storage box, ottoman, whatever, with some type of storage inside of it. I keep all my HDMI cables inside there, digital links, some DVDs and stuff that I use for testing. All of my setup discs and stuff that I use for setting up TV screens were all basically in this box. So I'm looking for something that I thought I still had, and I guess I don't, so I'm going to have to get another one. But I've been doing a lot of YouTube watching as far as old movies go. So I found a whole shitload of Vincent Price movies. So I've been kind of on a Vincent Price kick. Before I was doing the Tales from the Crypt, the Three Stooges, some of the older cartoons. Yeah, I know, I'm a grown-up watching cartoons. But anyways, I had a cable that was inside there, would plug into the charging port on your phone, and you can run it through HDMI to your TV set, and basically your phone was on your TV. So it would be, you can see where I'm going with this. I was could be able to watch YouTube videos as long as they were a 720 or 1080 as far as resolution goes. I was able to watch them on my TV screen. And on a 55-inch screen, 720, it doesn't look all that great. 1080 always looks better. But anyways, I can't find that cable, and that's where I would keep it, was in that box. But I did come across something else. Now, what the hell did we do before cell phones? You know, we had a laptop, we had home computers, you know, but what did we do in between? You know, we didn't have cell phones, and the cell phones that we did have were big, bulky things, and they didn't go online as far as internet connection, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and shit like that. Well, this is not quite that old, but it's a dinosaur still, okay? Just to be, in all honesty, it's still a dinosaur. Now, back in the day, we had Palm Pilots, Pocket PCs and Palm Pilots. Now, I wasn't really into Palm that much. There was a lot of things I didn't like it, especially a lot of them didn't have colored screens. They still did the job the way, you know, other stuff did, but not like the Pocket PCs did. So, what do I got here? Well, back in the day when let me go into a story. Back in the day when I used to do a lot of running around, a lot of motorcycle riding and shit, you know, I didn't have a cell phone, and the cell phones back in the day, like I said, were just basically phones. What I had later on was my first phone was the, what was it called, StarTAC flip phone. Yippee. Didn't have internet on it or anything else. So what I ended up doing is I picked up a Pocket PC. And I was able to do, you know, put scheduling on there in case I had an appointment I had to keep or something. I could do that. I also bought a GPS card, so I was using this thing as my GPS for when I was riding my motorcycle and shit. Had a little holder on the bike for it, and it used to lock in place. The only bad thing is batteries didn't last long, so I still have the cable, the plug adapter for it, to wire it into the electrical system of the motorcycle. So I had GPS, you know, kind of like maybe before anybody had GPS on their vehicles. Now, you can get a GPS card for this thing, you can get Wi-Fi cards for this thing, you can expand the memory on it, you could do a bunch of shit with these things. And what the hell is it? Well, it's this old dinosaur here. The Dell AXIM. This was, or is, the X51V, which was kind of the thing to get back in the day. Now, as you can see, it kind of looks like Windows XP. You know, that was the platform that this thing went on, but it's Windows CE. Windows CE, you could change the skins just like, you know, if you were running Windows XP or whatever. The only thing about it is instead of having your start menu at the bottom, they have it at the top. Now, the nice thing about this is I don't have it anymore, but it is probably obsolete now because the program that I did have for running GPS and stuff, you know, all the maps are probably old, but you were able to plug in a card in the top, and you can either expand the memory, change the Wi-Fi, you know, add a GPS, or, you know, again, put a memory card inside its slot too. Now, this one here, I had the GPS for, like I said, And this has Wi-Fi, and this also has Bluetooth on it. So it's kind of, not that old, but not new either. Play games on it, play music on there. Now this does have Windows Media Player on there, and I used to put a different program on there that had equalizer and everything else. The audio coming from this thing is pretty damn good. Now the only thing it doesn't have is it does not have a camera. Some of these didn't have cameras on them. They are not like the tablets of today. So what all can you do with it? Well, back in the day there was a lot to do with it because you were limited at what you can do compared to nowadays. The only problem with this nowadays is the Wi-Fi that is built into this thing here does not connect with the newer Wi-Fi systems of today. The Bluetooth on here is also is not compatible very well with the Bluetooth of today. Like if I were to Bluetooth this to my cell phone or to my laptop, I wouldn't be able to transfer files. It would still say it's paired or connected, but I'm not able to transfer any files because of the system inside here is a lot older compared to the systems that we have now. So basically, this is a Dinosaur, and all it's good for is playing solitaire and bubbles, or bubble popping, whatever the hell game it's called. Or if you wanted to keep schedules and stuff like that, keep notes, I guess this is good too. Now the screen on this thing isn't all that big, and back in the day, this was bigger than your cell phone screen. And you had to use a stylus in order to do anything with the screen because your fingertips were just too big. So if I end up clicking on the start menu, a nice little drop down menu would come from the top compared to what it would be coming from the bottom. And it would look just like Windows. You still went under programs, you still had a shitload of icons. You were able to go into different stuff, folders and notes, file explorer, pictures, which I don't think there's nothing on here but what it comes with. So if I click on a photo, there's a photo, and the resolution and the picture quality on the AXIM was really nice. It's part of the reason why I ended up getting it. You could send photos and do all kinds of shit with this thing. Games, well, okay, like I said, Bubble Breaker or Bubble Popper, whatever you want to call it, and Solitaire were basically the only games, but you were able to download a shit more programs. There used to be websites that were strictly for these things, where you could download other people's versions of a game that they ended up hacking or redoing to make them better. Programs you could put on here. Like I said, I used to do audio, put some audio on the card, and I was able to listen to music and shit through headphones with this thing. The audio on this thing sounded fucking awesome. Now, people were also doing a thing with these where they were sending them back to Dell, and Dell was able to put more memory inside of it, and I think even change out the CPU chip to make it a lot faster. I didn't do anything with this. It's basically bolt stock. I really didn't have to. I wasn't that much of a geek to really use this thing to its full potential. Like I said, basically to put notes on there, set up scheduling. Like right now, this thing says Friday, July 1st, 2005. Well, it's been unplugged for a long time. The battery was dead. It reset itself. And the bad thing about this too is that if it resets itself, or if you end up resetting it, you lose everything that's on it, and it's back from factory, right out of the box. Now, I also had a carrying case. I used to put this on around my belt clip, or basically off my pocket on my pants, and used to carry it around with me. It's kind of dusty now, but. And then I also had a dock for it, and the dock, you put it on top of there, plug it in. It also has a compartment for another charger, or another battery, sorry, and you're able to plug this thing into your computer through USB. And you're able to transfer files from this thing to the computer, or from the computer back to this thing. I don't know if it's still compatible now. I'm sure if I plug it in, it might come up with the Dell AXIM, or maybe not. The way things have changed with electronics, this thing probably is obsolete completely now. But it's pretty cool. I mean, there was a lot of shit that you could do with this. If you're connected to Wi-Fi, you're able to go on the internet, surf the internet. You had YouTube on here. You could watch videos. Yeah, there was a lot of shit you could do with this thing back in the day. And it's got its own movie player inside of here too, where you can watch movies and stuff, download them to the card. Now, as far as the resolution goes and shit like that, I don't think that this thing is like 1080. It probably is not. It's not really a wide screen on here compared to your cell phones and shit that you have nowadays. And as far as comparing this to today's everyday tablet, yeah, like I said, Dinosaur. But I figured it'd be pretty cool. You know, not a lot of people know what these are, have seen what these things are, or even heard of them. But some of you older guys out there who, you know, got into the Palm Pilots and you know, some of these Pocket PCs or whatever, you know what they are. You've used them. You know their limitations and everything compared to what they have now. And comparing this, like I said, with a tablet of nowadays, this is obsolete. This is a toy. You know, there's not much you could do with it now. So yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. You know, just kind of showing off a little bit of crap that I've got laying around over here. And, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing as far as holding on to it, throwing it away, recycling it, keeping it, whatever. There's really nothing that's usable in here besides maybe the battery and the charger. If I decide to make something or design something, you know, I can use the battery to, you know, hell, I could do another Angel guitar and have this battery as a removable battery pack and have this as the charger for it to charge up the battery. Man, there's an idea. But I'm not too sure what the voltage is, and it should all come off the battery, so I gotta check into that before I end up doing it. So yeah, kind of a nice little toy. Right now, Bluetooth is off because it won't pair to anything. Wi-Fi is off because it won't connect to anything. Why? Because this is fucking ancient. So yeah, there you go. There you have it. You know, a little dinosaur here and Dell AXIM, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it now. But anyways, take it easy. Have a good one.